Let's get into our footy chat, shall we? And at the top of the agenda is Collingwood's untimely run with injuries. It is striking late and it is striking hard. There's going to be 4 big names absent from Friday night's top-of-the-table clash. And when this team lands tomorrow night, it is going to look quite undermanned.
There's a risk-reward attached to this time of year. How much risk you're willing to take on certain things, and we don't want to be. This is not the time we have to take as much risk as maybe potentially in a few weeks' time. I just worry about things we can control. Like, you can't control the guys does that. The guys are out with hamstrings or glutes or whatever it is. You can't control that. But what you can do is pick 23 players, and then those guys go and execute their roles. And I'm excited for what's going to be Friday night. Big occasion. There's a lot at stake still. A lot to play for, and against the old Brisbane Mob, it'd be nice to get the job done.
So the outs are going to include Jordan De Goey and Bobby Hill, as well as Darcy Moore, who was well flagged, and Nick Dacos is out of the side for the time being. It's a touch unnerving. Better now than in 3 weeks' time.
Yeah, they're still a work in progress. They kicked really straight last week. They got value for dollar, and they went inside their 50s when they were knocked over Geelong. It was a sensational game. I don't know if they play Marvel as well as they do the MCG, Gerard.
So they've lost. They've won their 2 games there this year, but they haven't played as well as they have elsewhere, and they'd lost 4 out of 5 prior to that.
And the Lions?
The flip side to that is the Lions have won 7 out of 8 at the ground.
I think we talk about fast footy decks. I think this game is going to be one of the quickest games of the year because we know how Collingwood like to play. If they can't be stopped, and Brisbane aren't great at stopping teams at the moment defensively, but if they can't be stopped, Collingwood are going to flow. And we know that Brisbane likes to play flow-on football. All the observers are talking about how teams are trying to get a stoppage game against Brisbane, so sort of clog it up a bit. And we had Lockie on last night, and he spoke about a bit sore, which is code for he's a bit injured. Dunkley's been down, so they've got a few players to lift. I mean, this is just a huge game. If Brisbane don't beat Collingwood, Gerard, what's your thoughts on this? If Brisbane don't beat Collingwood with no De Goey, no Dacos, no Moore at Marvel, I don't think they can knock over Collingwood in the final.
Yeah,
I don't think they can.
Fancy them at the
my confidence wouldn't be real high.
Yep.
Because they've got a lot going for them this weekend.
It's an interesting shift, and this quite often happens when you get that glut of injury, is the focus shifts to the opposition, and the judgment is very real for Brisbane. That's the downside. The upside is if they win, the advantages are all theirs. They then have the opportunity to close out against the Gabba with their unbeaten all year,
and finish
nail
second.
down second, and they can go the short way through without leaving home if they're good enough to do it. So if you concocted a scenario for them and said, oh, yes, you've got this game against Collingwood late, but here's what you can have. You can have them at their less preferred Melbourne ground, and you can have them without these handful of players. You'd be going, sign us up for that right now.
Yeah, but it is. Again, it's all mental, Gerard. If they think they're going to be easier because of those 3 players out, does that affect their attitude going in? They've got parts of their game they've got to fix up. I mean, they've got to stop Collingwood's explosion. They do, but they've lost 2 of their exposing link players, so they're not going to be as strong in that area. I've actually picked Brisbane to win. I think I think they can get it done. No Gunston hurts. We know Ashcroft's gone, so we've got to wipe him out of it a little bit. But it's going to be another to kick off the weekend. That's huge.
Yep, so that's right at the pointy end, and then there's all the machinations that run down to 12th. How it shakes out, there's no margin for error left anymore for a swag of these teams.